Alright, 6 seconds in, we can start. I like to give it a minute because sometimes it doesn't start right, and then when I replay it to check it, it's like 30 seconds in. I thought I should do an energy update because we have a huge solar eclipse happening Saturday morning in Central Texas, or Central, America time. And, so, and the energy of the week's been so crazy. Like, I had an appointment yesterday. I got this thing, like, lasered off my nose. And, I went in, like, super early because I didn't know where it was, so I wanted to make sure I could find it. And I was supposed to fill out all this paperwork. I only filled out, like, the front page. Like, I just sat there for 15 minutes, like, with this huge packet of paperwork, having only filled out the first page. And then when, the girl who was doing it, she was, like, really, in tuned, like, woman as well. I feel like women are all pretty in tuned, half of us, right? Like us kind of women. And so she laughed and she's like, it's okay. She's like, this is like the energy this week. And I'm like, I know, I'm a hairdresser. And like the week has just been so like wacky and like wonky. And so I can't believe I did that. It was just so goofy. This was yesterday. And then today, my first client, it was, she had rescheduled from last week. So, I didn't hear from her. Something must be up, but she didn't show up. That's like my first client. My second client, like normal. My third client ended up being like a half an hour late, and that like never happens, right? And then I left early. I had another client coming in, but I had only blocked off my schedule. I didn't write her name in it, and I must have done that like a month ago when she booked, right? So I go and like leave, like I'm leaving for the day, and then I'm like down the street, my coworker is like, your client's here, and I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, now I remember, duh. Like I'm so, like everybody's so off, like everything is so off, and it's like, it just feels like God is really in like total control of everything. So like there's this funny chaos, but the irony of it all is like, the chaos is what's bringing us closer together, because everybody is like experiencing this phenomenon, and then we're just laughing because we're like, no, because there's something going on. Like we're experiencing this all over ourselves and like with other people. And so it's like, it's funny how much control God has over your mind. I mean, truly, there's just some funny stuff that, like, it blows my mind just how much control he has for his will, Like, I had an accident at 2:30, but I had it in my head, like, all day long. I was looking forward to this all day long, because I was also looking forward to seeing the instructor. I hadn't seen him in a long time. And so I thought it would be really nice to say hi to this instructor. So I show up for my 2:45 class. This was the day before yesterday, right? And it's not 2:45, it's 2:30. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is so weird, because I just had it in my head. I was going to see this instructor at 2:45. But then the girl at the counter was like, well, you can join my class, which I needed more, honestly. She does yoga sculpt, so it's more muscle building, which is what I so badly need right now. And so, and also that class is like $33. So, okay, I didn't see the instructor. I don't know if it had anything to do with the instructor. Maybe it might not have been like a pleasant encounter. I don't know. Or maybe it was all so that I was meant to get this like free class that I actually really needed. It just is incredible. Like the week has been, and then just with all this stuff with like Sarah Rachel Adams really coming out, like not like people are so bored of Sarah Rachel Adams. Like everyone that needs to know found out. Also, if you encounter that thing and you think that's anything normal, like that's on you, right? Like there's your heart. But like she's so bad. But what's funny is like people don't realize how bad Haley Meyer is, and so it's so funny how she was like trying to come to the rescue for like as the almighty savior of Sarah Adams, and then I just was able to finally blow her cover. You know, she never breaks character. She broke character when the fires were happening in California because she was stressed about, you know, her whole world's on fire, right? One of the families, you know, like 30 mansions burnt down, and it's just so sad, you know? And like she finally cracked and she flipped out on me, like, how could you support James Casbolt? He abused me. And I'm like, yeah, I know, like I didn't really respond this way, but I'm thinking to myself, like, well, I mean, I've been trying to figure out for years why this woman thinks this man abused her so bad. Like, I mean, I don't think she's like lying about everything, but she is not at all. She definitely admitted to embellishing, and I'm just like, this is like not in his nature to even do that. Plus she admitted to embellishing everything. Also, she completely egged it on. I mean, what that family, what those people did to him needs to be like karma paid in full. And she, I don't know if she's responsible because she's such a puppet. She's such a pawn. She's just like a freaking clone, like a weaponized, sexy clone of some kind, like a honeypot. But she is a mother and they do have a son. So maybe there's some redeeming qualities there. Conscience, because she did admit to embellishing some of her accusations. So that was amazing that that came out. Something effed up with her, right? But never friggin' cracks character. Like she's dangerously agreeable to everybody around her, and she always pretends like she's the nicest woman in the world. But deep down, I knew that her and this family did something sinister to James Casbolt, but you could never get this bitch to break character. But she finally did when California was on fire this most recent time. And so I was like, ha! Thankfully, like, thank God, it finally comes out. And then it came out even more this week with, you know, people like starting to talk about Sarah Adams again, her trying to pretend to come to the rescue. It was a perfect opportunity for me to set the record straight about James Casbolt and her, and then her true nature as she is. Like, go back into the cave of it actually backfired. And no, you can't sue people from talking about you. You can't sue somebody because they don't like you. What she did, and I don't like the way she responds. Even her non-response is like she can't say anything in defense of herself because it's true, or is she just like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for someone to say something for me to sue them for? You can't just go around suing people so they don't talk about the truth about you. Nothing I've said has been gossipy or mean. These are just the facts. It's just my experience. You know, that was an opportunity. So there's a huge solar eclipse Saturday, and I think it's going to truly change the world. Not only am I experiencing the weirdest stuff this week, but like everyone I encounter, put in my path, you know, like really awesome people. It's a huge deal when a planet like Neptune moves into a new sign because they move so slow. And Neptune controls a large portion of our subconscious mind. And Aries is all about war and action. So subconsciously, people are ready for war and action. And I would say the general theme of everybody that I'm talking to, we are just so fed up with just the system and the way it is. And then I was thinking, if the phone is listening to us all talk to each other now, so the phone listens to what you're saying, but I was thinking if it's like gauging when it's time to like start the war or start the invasion or start the fake alien invasion, like they would probably gather the data from the phone because it's like, A, we're all feeling the same exact way, and B, we're all coming together in agreement about how we all feel the same exact way. Like, we are so sick of this world in the way it's run and the governments that are running it, and these people, and these non-human weird people, and these robotic people, and just the insanity, the absurdity. And then we're all talking around our phones, and our phones are listening to us talk to each other about this, like revolution vibes, you know? Like, I'm sure the AI is collecting data on what I'm telling you because it's collecting data about all of us telling each other how we feel, and we all feel the same exact way. So, big energy update. I hope that this isn't too choppy or anything. Maybe I'll leave some cliff notes below in the comments, but that's that. Just wanted to do this. I was like, oh yeah, I definitely need to do a video. Like, I'm such in like happy la la land that I was like not thinking about this, but I was just like, oh yeah, I should probably do an energy update because this would be the biggest energy update of our lifetime. Maybe the beginning of even bigger ones. But yeah, and the algorithms are getting more intelligent. Exactly. So yeah, that's that. You kind of people. Love y'all so much. Check you later. Have a beautiful night and weekend because it's a good one. Enjoy. Get what you came for. Behind. We're ready.